I'm leaving my $350,000 dream job at Google to move into my parents' basement. This is why it's not insane.
At 27, Jim decided to quit his dream job at Google to chase internet freedom. 100 days later, he makes more than $10,000 a month and he grew an audience of 140,000 followers on Instagram. Today, I invited him to break down exactly how he did it. Jim, I'm really happy to have you here. 100 days ago, you told internet that you were quitting your dream job at Google without a plan. And today, you just hit 10K a month and you have a goal to reach 200K a month. So tell me, what was your life before posting online?
Hey Florian, yeah, happy to be here. So, life before posting online feels like so long ago, but it's only been 100 days. Before I was a software engineer at Google, working corporate job. Um, Not really, I don't know, it was a lot less eventful than it is now, I think. Just the day-to-day work, software engineer work, boss hands me work, I do the work, and not much else besides that. I would run and lift, and that was about my days usually.
And now, what is your life?
Oh, now it went from like a few hours of work a day to I don't know, maybe 12 hours days. I'm also moved to, well, not moved, but I'm in Japan right now. I quit my job and, uh, yeah, I'm just here alone in Tokyo and basically working on creating videos and also trying to build the beginnings of a business for myself.
Cool. Why did you choose Tokyo?
Tokyo was because I was going to do kind of like an Asia world tour. So it was like, I thought I've already been to Japan a few times, and I think Japan's like it's pretty easy to acclimate to. The system is very clean and everything. So that was my thought for coming to Tokyo. It was something I was familiar with, and just get used to the time zone and everything. So that was my thought.
Okay, cool. So you were working at Google before. You had this really cool job. I think you were making something like 300,000
Yeah,
dollars a year.
350
That's right.
USD. Yeah,
That's
per year.
crazy.
Yep.
And you decided to quit to become an influencer. I know you're not an influencer, but you decided to start posting online. What was the trigger? Why did you want to post something, post your story online?
Yeah. Well, I just want to clarify that now I'm actually okay with the term influencer because I've like seen how positive it can be. It's kind of like you have bad influencers and you can also have like good influencers. You can influence for good and stuff. I would call people like let's say Naval an influencer, but he I think is a positive influence. But in to answer your actual question, uh why did I actually start posting online? Yeah, so I actually got very inspired from people on X, like Peter Levels, Mark Liu. I know you're also active on X as well, because I saw these people who were living as digital nomads, building SaaS, and for me, I thought that seems like the kind of life that I would want to live because I didn't want, like, even though I was making a lot of money at corporate, I I never enjoyed corporate. I never wanted to go into corporate, but it was like the path that seemed right to me. And I know that's like it's crazy to many people. Like you have a 350K job, like why would you ever leave? But it just never was the life I envisioned for myself. So when I saw people like Mark, Peter, uh, I was like, oh, so there is a way like to live that sort of lifestyle. And so that's why I thought, okay, they have a big audience that helps them a lot. So I should try to build an audience. And so my first post actually wasn't on Instagram. It was on X or Twitter. And I tried to do that for a while, for like a month. And I posted several hundred times, got like 50 followers at the end of that. And at that point, I was actually on leave from Google, mental health leave, because I was having some like mental health issues from just like, I really don't want to be here anymore. And so I had a limited amount of time left on that leave, and I had like no money in sight. I had built this SaaS. I had launched it. It was like an AI dating profile analyzer. And I was just like, I'm gonna build SaaS. I'm gonna just try a bunch of different things out. And then when I launched it, I got no users. As every single first SaaS builder like knows, like when you launch to no audience, you just get no users. So I was like, okay, the bottleneck here is not the app. It's going to be like getting distribution. So I was like, I'm gonna go all in on building an audience. And so I did the X thing, nothing was hitting, and I was just like, oh my God, I only have like 50 days left. So then that's when I started to be like, so I made YouTube videos as a kid. And so I thought, okay, this X thing, this Twitter thing, I'm not figuring out right now. Let me try something which I have experience with, which is making videos. So I made my first video for short form on Instagram. I posted it on Instagram, TikTok, and also YouTube. And it only blew up on Instagram, but it did blow up on Instagram and it went crazy. It went, at this point, it has over 1 million views. And I was just like, holy crap, this is insane. And that just started this whole journey. I was like, I'm going to post every day for 50 days because I was just like so convinced this audience building path was the right path for what I thought I was going to do, which was build SaaS. And yeah, that was the story of why I actually started posting and like how all of this started in the first place.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know you started on X actually, which is funny because for me it was the easy path. Like I was good at X,
Um,
but the video is something I'm trying to learn now. So it's pretty funny that you did actually the
yeah,
opposite.
yeah, it's
Um,
interesting.
why do you think your first video got viral straight away? Did you know like the I don't know the structure, like how to structure the storytelling or to edit? Like did you have like skills in that or
Hmm. Yeah, so I think honestly, I would say part of it is intuition, part of it is from my past experience making videos. I knew that I knew that there's a concept of a hook, and I know that the hook is a concept for X writing on X as well. But so that's like how I knew the structure of like you need a hook and then something after that because I was trying to learn how to write on X. And then I just translated that to video, and so the hook that I wrote was I'm quitting my 350K dream job at Google to move into my parents' basement, which is now that I look back on it, I was like, wow, how did I come up with that hook? Like that's a good one. And so that's what actually I think that's one of the key reasons why I went viral. The other thing was I think I just was willing to go very deep into my thoughts and how I felt, which I guess like being vulnerable, which is pretty difficult on video. And um, but I was in like that place at that time where I was just like, I have nothing to lose anymore. I'm just gonna go in on this and like give it my all. So that I didn't even really realize at the time, but that was basically storytelling, which is something that I used a lot to grow. And then uh, it also another factor that I think helped was that it opened me up to a series. So people want to find out, oh, what's happening next? Like this guy's quitting without a plan. So what's the next step for him? And so all of these things I didn't actually really know. I think a lot of it was luck, a lot of it was intuition, but there was like a sort of foundation there from writing on X to know the structures of things. And also I had editing skills. I had a Minecraft YouTube channel when I was in middle school. So I had edited a lot of videos and I made vlogs in the past just for myself. So yeah.
okay, so you said you got inspired by Mark Lu and Peter Level on X. I'm pretty sure that you probably got also inspired from someone on Instagram, or did you just figure everything out yourself?
Oh, on Instagram. I'm trying to remember if I got anyone on Instagram. I honestly, when I started, I did not have any inspiration from Instagram. As I continued, I started finding people to draw inspiration from. But even then, I always tended towards inspiration from people on X. Like after Mark and Peter, it was Dan Co. And yeah, I've read some of Justin Welsh's stuff. But on Instagram, I basically treated it as a learning for me. So I drew inspiration from people like Mino Lee. He's a Instagram content creator, and uh, who else on Instagram? I just draw inspiration from other creators. I actually don't find myself that inspired by like I actually follow like Danco the most now. So it's interesting. I just did Instagram mainly because I had created videos in the past. So
Yeah, it's funny because in Danko now it just switched to actually showing his face on Instagram, right? Because before it was only
yeah,
these visual things, and now it start to show his face. So yeah,
yeah.
But Danko is like
Yeah,
also a big inspiration for me. And you did your first
awesome.
video, so it got viral. Pretty lucky, even if I think it's a lot of skills that were like combined exactly at the good time. And you
Yeah.
had this challenge of 50 days after that. I think it was to reach $1,000 online or something like that.
hmm Yes, that's
And
correct.
how did you come up with this challenge and how did it go actually?
Yeah, so I just remember, like I mentioned before, I felt this sense of urgency to make something happen before my leave ended, which was happening in around 50 days. And so I was thinking, okay, let me time box this so that at the end of 50 days, I have some sort of tangible outcome. And so I wanted to make sure that every day felt very urgent and very, I could like feel like somehow physically see that the time was ticking down. And so
Mm.
that's where I got the idea with these 50 post-its, which I think was also, I guess, a big part of the series in terms of the vibe. So I put 50 post-its on the wall, all different colors, labeled with numbers, and every single day I would end the series with like me pulling off a post-it. One part of that was to keep it visual, so that I could see how much time I have left. Part of it was so that I wanted myself to know every single day I'm pulling this post-it off. That's another day gone. Like I have this sense of urgency. So that's the explanation behind the 50 days. In terms of the 1K goal, 1,000 is not a lot of money. I think most people can make it. Like I could have made it in a lot of ways, but I wanted to make it in a way that felt like not, how do I say, like coaching or some sort of consulting or some sort of like way that I didn't really feel like just another job in a way.
Mhm.
And so I just wanted to, the 1K was more like a representative that's like, okay, it is possible to make money online because as an employee, I think a lot of employees think that they just can't even imagine making money from a way outside of their salary. At least that's how I was. I don't know if that's how everybody feels. So it was more of a proof of concept. And so it was the combination of those two things.
Was that the first time you made money online?
The only other time was when I made money from YouTube, from my Minecraft YouTube channel from when I was
Okay.
a middle schooler. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And during these 50 days, how did you stay consistent? You say it was the post-it mainly, or like
hmm
what was
I think,
yeah, how did you stay consistent?
yeah. So I think public accountability was a big part of it. I think a lot of it was also because uh, I felt that sense of urgency before I knew at the end of these 50 days I was going to hand in my 2 weeks notice no matter what. I just had mentally committed to it no matter what. So I think that definitely helped with the consistency. I think in general, when I start something, I'm very obsessed with whenever it came to anything, whether it was interview prepping for Google, whether it was doing running training for my marathon. If I start something, I usually go all in. So um, it was that combination as well, that urgency plus just my personality, I think.
Yeah, so a pretty good discipline already in you. And what was the process, like ID, recording, editing, publishing? What was the process every day? I'm sure it was harder at the beginning and got easier at the end, probably.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it was still new to me and I was trying to figure it out. I think for me, I ended up doing documenting, just building in public. Every day I would essentially do a mini vlog, and I just did that for most of the days, probably like 40 something of the days, and then occasionally I would make some sort of more creative style video of my own vision. Um, and the way I would do it, I would just start filming myself going through my day random times. When you start filming yourself during the day, it's so awkward at first. It's so difficult at first. Even talking to the camera just feels so wrong. So yeah, you're right. The first few days, it was it was so awkward, but I got very desensitized, and these days I'm pretty good with it. And by the end of the 50 days, like it was pretty normal, and it just continued to gradually get better after that. And I figured out a process like editing. I think you just learn from experience, really. In terms of a system, uh, there was sometimes a structure for my first few videos where I was just like morning, afternoon, night. I would do that sort of sequence. Um, but I don't know, it changes over time.
Yeah, so
So
the ideas for you is like pretty random, right? It's like
yeah.
it's something happened the day, and then you have the idea, and then you record all day long your kind of mini vlog, and at the end of the day, you record yourself talking as a voiceover.
Yeah, so I would do a nightly reflection basically. And like during the day, I would do I switched, like you said, it was kind of based on just how I felt. So, but the structure that I used the most often, I would talk in the morning, then do like a quick like few seconds of vlog, just pure footage, and then at the night I would reflect on the day and like update on progress.
And it's funny because I saw on a few of your video that the B-roll you use have nothing to do with what you say. Is that a trick, or is that like really just to, I don't know, just to edit like that and
Yeah.
just add B-rolls?
Yeah, it's just like it kind of is a trick. And so this is something that I learned from Mino, the Instagram creator. It's almost like a way to keep engagement is to switch through clips every 2 or so seconds. And it doesn't even have to necessarily be that um it's like a form of visual storytelling, I would say. It's not even related to the words, but it kind of conveys the emotion of the words or it adds some context to the story. It's just it's kind of strange, I would say, but the main reason that I did it was because I learned from people like him, and then I saw other creators who are doing a similar format, and so it is kind of a trick. I think it's also just kind of a style which I've adapted now. So that's at least my reasoning behind it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because I think I saw one of your video that was like, I don't know, you were talking about something totally different and you were putting like a lot of pictures of food, like you eating something. And I was like, there is nothing like, yeah, I didn't understand, but that's pretty funny actually. And so, okay, like the hook is pretty much the ID you get during the day, or you try to get hooks from other people, like hooks that work. Do you have a process for that?
Yeah, so I do a mix of both, and I think it's just kind of building the intuition of the hooks. So I do copy hooks sometimes, and then I definitely do copy hooks sometimes. I have some examples of like where I copy the hook, and then the video branches off after that into like my own thing. And then I also use my own hook, which the 350K quitting my 350K job at Google hook, which I use a lot, and I think a lot of other people started copying it, something similar as well. It doesn't work as well now anymore. I think people got tired of it or something, but I do create my own hooks. I think after a certain amount of time, you gain an intuition around hooks. Any type of creator, even writers too, I think they start to gain intuition around hooks on what performs. So now I would say it's a mix. I definitely save videos on Instagram, like into my saved videos, and that's like my inspiration bank. That's my like swipe file to get hook ideas as well as just video ideas. But I do come up with my own hooks. I would say most of the time now.
And do you have kind of a structure on what you're talking about, the topics? Because you're posting every day. Sometimes you talk about what you're building. Sometimes you just talk about life things. Like, do you have like kind of a structure or like a bullet point of what topic you can talk about and what not?
Yeah, so I think I am trying to cultivate this brand around a few pillars of one is like freedom, the other is wealth, and the last is like meaning or purpose. And so, as long as what I'm talking about is somewhat related to that in some way, I'm okay with it. So, even if I'm just talking about my life and my thoughts, the journey itself is part of this because it's my journey to finding a life of like freedom, wealth, and meaning. So, it goes pretty broad, but I do try to stay within those topics. Like, I typically wouldn't post myself doing like a TikTok dance or something like that, something irrelevant, but I would say that is relevant. And then I also have my tech background, so I do occasionally talk about career stuff and career content, and I talk about finances because finances are very deeply tied to what I believe to be freedom, and yeah, and even the emotional side of things I think is part of the journey as well towards like meaning, especially. So I kind of just have those three pillars of values, and I try to keep my content within those.
Good to know. And the type of content you post, sometimes it's vlog, like kind of vlogging, and sometimes you just talk. It's like you take your phone and you film yourself and you say something that you want to share.
Hmm.
Do you plan this, or it's just like you woke up that day and you were like, no, I don't want to put B-roll, I just have to say something?
Yeah, so the talking, it's it's like called talking head videos, and the talking head videos are much lower production value, so it's much easier to post. That's why like these days when I'm a bit more occupied, I can get out a video of talking head much faster. So that usually is actually what determines it. If I feel a lot of creative inspiration, I will try to do those more B-roll storytelling, more creative style videos. But if I don't have that much time, but I still want to say something that I think is valuable, then I will do talking head. Or if I just need to get something out in terms of content, or I feel like I need to get something out. That's kind of how I do it. There's no real schedule or plan around it.
Interesting. And about the tools, what kind of tools do you use? Like, I think you record with your phone and CapCut. What else?
Yeah. Yeah, so phone and CapCut, and then on the phone I use Apple Notes for my ideas. If I have an idea, I write it down immediately. I also use that for like writing scripts. I just keep it on Apple Notes so that I can go between my phone and my laptop very easily. Other tools, I use ChatGPT all the time. I've started using Gemini recently as well to help with writing. And what else do I use? In terms of my store, like for transit, like payments and stuff, I've been using Stan Store. And other tools, when I built SaaS, my personal site is using Cursor. And when I built my first SaaS, I also used Cursor as well. And Notion for free resources like lead magnets and stuff, and also, yeah, just free resources. And for the personal brand challenge, I'm using Discord. This is like a challenge I'm running right now for people to help post every day for 30 days, and I'm using Discord for that.
Okay, pretty cool. And so you got the idea, you recorded, you use the tool, so you probably edit on CapCut, you said, and then you post. Do you post on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Short? Do you post directly on the app, or you use like another app to publish everywhere at once?
Yeah, these days I post directly on the app. There was a time where I tried using PostBridge, but I found that you can't like customize things so much. So one trick on Instagram is that the thumbnail actually I found does matter. If you do have a good thumbnail, uh, when people are on the explore page, they are scrolling through the explore page and they'll see the thumbnail, and if it looks good, then they'll click in. So my videos that have a good thumbnail, I realize you can see in the analytics that it will have a lot of visitors from the explore page, and that means that thumbnail actually does matter. And if I post it through one of these tools, it's hard to customize that, I think, because I'm guessing that's not really possible with the APIs and whatever. Um, so yeah, I manually post across Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube now. For writing, I mean, I use Typefully for X and Threads, but I haven't really been posting too much on those platforms right now.
It's funny because I'm pretty sure that the viral video you did about quitting your dream job will do crazy on Twitter. I feel like I saw
Oh,
so many
really?
hooks like that that went really well. Yeah, about quitting a big company like that, I think it always works. So maybe you should give it a try.
Uh, yeah, I appreciate that. I'm curious, do you use any tools for your like Twitter and other stuff?
Yeah, I'm currently using Super X. No, sorry, I'm currently using Typefully because I have a subscription for a
Mm.
while. But there is a friend, Rob, who built with Thibaut Maker Super X, and I think I will give it a try pretty soon. I just wait because yeah, I still have this yearly subscription with Typefully. But I found it helped me a lot for the writing because you can also automate like retweet and also add a CTA in a comment after like let's say 5, 10 likes, which is really cool. And then right now I use Postbridge, but I start to use to not use it for Instagram. I still use
Mm.
Typefully for Twitter, and I publish straight away on Instagram for my video, and all the rest is all on Postbridge right now. Because I'm living in Indonesia,
Okay.
and I feel like there is a problem with the API, no, the IP, sorry. If I publish here, I will just target Indonesia.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it's pretty hard to get viral here because
Oh,
like
interesting.
yeah. So that's why I use Postbridge, and since I use Postbridge, my TikToks start to target like more countries like Canada, UK, and US. So that's pretty cool for me actually.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't even
Yeah.
think of that. I don't know if I'm getting targeted more towards Japan now. I don't
How
even
many
know.
followers do you have on TikTok now?
TikTok, I have, I think 19K. Yeah, it's a lot less than Instagram.
Yeah, but I feel like if you have a big base of followers like that, then you naturally target your audience and then you go
Hmm.
probably more to US than Japan. But yeah, if you would start again a TikTok account right now, you will straight away target Japan. And I think it would be pretty hard knowing that
Uh,
Japanese people don't speak really well English.
yeah, yeah, I
But yeah.
found out. Yeah, yeah,
Well, good to know. Thank you for all of that. I have a question.
sure.
If someone watch this video and want to start tomorrow, what will be for you the best plan? Like, let's say a 70-day challenge to post every day on a social media. What will you say to this person?
So the goal is to post every day for 70 days? Or
Yeah,
is
to
that the
reach
uh,
100K followers.
100K followers? Oh man, to reach 100K, I think you definitely need to get lucky. I definitely consider myself very lucky. I've seen other people blow up pretty quickly. What I see as a common denominator for that is a series. So one of the popular people who blew up recently is Chloe Shi. She had a 30 lessons by 30. Um, and so that's a series because every single day people want to find out what happens in the next day. So it's like 30 days of her posting daily 30 lessons. She got up to over 1 million followers. I don't know how many came from that series, but I think it was a lot. Another guy I know, Cheetah Rajan, he is also on Instagram, and he's building luxury cabins. And basically, he documents every single day of building this luxury cabin, which is a great visual. And he's super dedicated, but he also has grown, I would guess, over 100,000 followers in 70 days for sure. And he also has this series, which is like every single day you see the progress of him building this cabin with his friend. And for me, it was the same thing where I had this 50 days to 1K challenge, and it was a series. And so people, if you want to convert followers, then series are going to be the highest converting things. That's what I found with my videos. That's what at least I see with people. Like you can get a lot of trust and views and like engagement with like high value, like value driven content when you just tell people value. Uh, and you can get an engaged audience. But I would say if you're trying to like just maximally convert followers, series are typically what I see is a common factor for people who like get a lot of followers quickly.
And do you think that the deadline should be short? Because I remember that your first one was, well, 50 days to get
Yeah.
$1,000. Then now you have this new goal to make 200K a month, but you have another series to reach 10K, right?
Yeah, so I've just been dropping series these days. I don't really like I started that and I was like, wait, I don't really want to do this. And then I started something else. So I haven't actually had a committed series yet where I'm like, okay, this is definitely what I'm doing now. I had these ideas, but then I was like, I feel I was doing them out of obligation. Uh and sorry, I forget what the original question was.
If you should have a deadline,
Oh, shorten the deadline.
and
I
if
would
it should
say
be
so.
short or long.
Um I think if you really want to just go all out and sprint, like you can do a short deadline, you probably will increase your capacity and hit it faster just because of time pressure, just because of human nature, and you'll stretch your limits. I think you don't have to though. Like I would say that what I'm doing now is not necessarily. I don't even have a series right now. And then the guy who I mentioned building luxury cabins, doesn't have a deadline. He's just documenting day by day, and he's growing very, very consistently. But I would say if it's a personal thing that you want to grow quickly, you will figure out ways to do so when you have a deadline. I think that's what I've learned about myself is that we have a lot of limiting beliefs and we're very adaptable. So it's up to you. I think it's definitely good to be realistic, but also it's good to just try to stretch your limits. So it's a balance. I can't say that it's a direct yes or no.
Yeah. And you've been posting for what, 104 days or something like that now?
Yeah, I think some around that, around 104 days. It could be a few days either way, but
Have you
yeah.
missed a day?
Oh yeah, I have. I actually don't really think that posting every day is a huge deal once you're out of the beginner phase, in my opinion. For beginners, it's you most people have this resistance to posting, but once you get out of the posting phase, like if you've posted like 50 times in a row and you've kind of built this habit, you've kind of proven that you can build this habit, you probably are not so uncomfortable with camera, like being on camera and stuff anymore. So personally, I don't think that posting every day is like a necessary thing. I would rather post out one just banger piece of content every week, even if I knew it was going to be a banger, compared to 7 days of like mediocre
Hmm.
content. That's my opinion. But for beginners, I would absolutely say when you need quantity to reach quality. And I guess even now, I would say it's still a balance of trying to have me put out more quantity so that I can reach quality. So I don't know. I would say for beginners, definitely post every day. For people who are more experienced, it's more personal. I would say.
No, it makes sense because I've been posting now as we record 30, no, 37 days in a row. And I already
Wow.
feel like the
Okay.
big difference between the first day and now. Like I feel way more comfortable in front of the camera recording. I understand more that, I should record that way, read one sentence per one sentence, all these little things that help me a
Yeah.
lot. But you're right. I feel like I could probably not publish every day for 100 days. I will need some break. But at the
Hmm.
beginning, I don't know what did you have in mind for like the beginner phase. But I think for me, yeah, it would be something like that, maybe 50 days in a row to really
Yeah.
understand and get into it. And right now, I really feel like it's an habit. I don't see
Hmm.
myself like spending a day without filming or without like recording or doing something about it. And I think that's the point when you start, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's like it's more about the identity shift where it's like now it's like, oh, I'm someone who shows up on camera, I do all this stuff, rather than someone where it's like today I'm doing this. It's like, oh, this is just who I am. So I think that's exactly right.
And is there a really huge mistake that you made and you wish you didn't?
Huge mistakes. Hmm. You mean for like content journey specifically, or
Yeah, like something that would have made you went already really, really fast. Like how much do you have right now? 170? No, 130?
oh, like total across everything? Yeah. On Instagram, it's like 130 something, and then I think total across platforms is probably around 170.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
you,
did grow
you
very
went pretty
fast.
fast. But
Yeah.
what kind of mistake you made, and maybe if you avoided it, you would have been even faster, if it's possible.
Hmm. I think the biggest mistake that I had, I don't think I made any mistakes that were avoidable during my 50-day challenge. I think after the 50-day challenge, I sort of just got lost in what I was doing. And part of the reason why I was lost was because I set this goal of 200K a month immediately after. And then that was when I got this huge influx of followers. I don't think it was because of the 200K a month specifically, but I kind of just had this identity crisis where I didn't feel okay with making money. And so I had this issue where I felt very guilty for charging for money, and I dealt with that for like basically a few weeks even. And so that's why you saw I started this road to 10K a month, and then I pivoted off of it. In recent videos, I said, okay, I'm gonna go for 30K a month in 30 days, and then I was like, okay, no, I'm not gonna do it because I just had this huge money fear. So I don't know how you can actually deprogram this in someone. But I think if I could have just gotten over that limiting belief around money about thinking that I didn't have something to charge or like I couldn't charge without being ethical, I just kind of lost the plot in terms of my content. So I didn't have an ongoing series, which is what helped my growth originally and kept me going just like on a straight path. And so I think that was the biggest mistake, just not charging for stuff and not doing what I actually set out to do, which was to prove that you can build wealth on your own. That was my biggest mistake. But I don't know exactly how you would deprogram that out of someone, because I think a lot of people have this like money guilt almost, at least. Um, so
Yeah,
that's the
I
best answer I could give.
I feel you. When I did my first course, like it was in 2021, I launched a course and I sold it for 79 euro. And that was so
Uh-huh.
cheap from what it was because it was really a
Uh,
huge course with like a lot of things, a community, hours of me recording, teaching and everything. And
oh, it
I
was a
did that.
community too.
Yeah, yeah, I did that because that was my first product and the fear of asking money to someone for something I built. So I totally feel you about that. And that's something I think we all have to work on it. And one day maybe we'll get through that. But yeah, I can
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
And talking about the money you made, how did you actually make money with your audience?
hmm Yeah, so to start with, I basically launched a digital product. Uh, Maybe you could call it a course. It's basically a course on how to get a tech job, how to land a tech job. And so that was called the job offer system. That was my first ever offer. And then I pre-sold it, made for like 30 bucks, massively underpriced, like your it's also and it's like I sold a few copies of that right away. And then I launched it at $99, which honestly I would say now if I were to go back, I would actually go higher. But I launched it for that and I had this huge bout of just like I think personal issues with around making money, and so I ended up refunding everybody who bought it, and then I had made like 500 something dollars in under a week, and then I didn't even like promote it that much, so I proved that I can make money, but then I had this panic where I was like, I feel like I'm scamming people, and then I refunded it and I made it free. Now it's like a lead magnet, but that was my first way of making money. And then after that, I was too scared to charge for a product that expensive, so I just ended up going like, okay, I'm gonna make a $20 product. This is a digital product where similar concept, people who feel imposter syndrome for uh, they can't get a tech job because that's how I felt in the past. I made it for them, and it was just like basically this compilation of people who are, let's say, like average engineers who were able to land into tech companies. And so that I sold for $20. That's how I made my $1,000 for the 50 days to 1K. I think I've made like 2,000 something on that. Um, and then recently I have built this big following. So and I found out that there's a lot of people who want to like learn more closely with me on how to do that. So I launched this new offer um, called the Inner Circle, and so it's basically a cohort of 8 people with me, and it was a $1,500 offer for 4 weeks, and they get a call every week, and also like a one-on-one with me and async Discord access. And so that I sold for 1,500, sold the 8 seats, uh, and yeah, so that's how I made over my 10K month basically, and that's other than just very small things like YouTube money and some affiliate stuff, which is like not really significant. That was how I made my money so far.
Just a quick break. If I invited Jim today, it's because I also started a building public 40 days ago. I've been posting every single day for the past 40 days and nothing really happened. It feels like I'm wasting my time and I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one in this situation. So I've decided to take a shortcut. Every week from now, I will learn from the best content creator who went from zero to hundreds of thousands of followers through short form video. And I will share all of that with you. I will basically learn in public. So if, like me, you want to learn from the best content creator, make sure to subscribe to not miss the next one.
That's okay. Can I ask you a question? Like, how did you make your money as a creator?
So for me, I started like before that, I was doing affiliate SEO for a while. So I was living abroad already thanks to that. And I started to actually share how I made money with affiliate SEO on Twitter in France, and it blew up like pretty fast. I went from 0 to 10K follower like in less than 6 months, I think. And I did I did a free book. The free book worked pretty well. Then people were asking more, so I did the course. And as I say, I did the launch at 79 euro. And then I just increased the price a bit every few months until I started to. No, I wanted to try iTicket, and I started
Hmm.
iTicket, and I hated that. So that was
Yeah.
last year in 2024, and I totally stopped the iTicket course I was doing, and now I switched in the past few months to well, switch from French to English and actually start again to build an audience, but this time building SaaS. So that's the
Oh,
goal,
wow.
to build SaaS. I already built two with co-makers.
Oh,
And
snap.
yeah, the goal is to go from 0 to 3 million a year with that.
That's sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you also iterated very quickly through a lot of different offers as well. I think.
Yeah, I feel like you have to. And, it's funny because we went through probably the same path, but like, I went through Danco. I was inspired at the beginning by Peter Levels. And I think that when you build an audience, it's really personal. So
Oh, yeah.
everything touch you really deeply, and you
Yeah.
can change, like you can switch, you can be influenced by, for example, I've been influenced by Danco for a while, and I was publishing content that wasn't me at all. So like I
Mm,
went into that path for more than 6 months, and then I had to come back. So yeah,
I totally get that. Yeah. I feel pulled towards making Danko style content all the time now. It's just, but yeah, I think building your personal brand, building an audience it is so personal. Like that's one thing I think most people don't realize is that you it's a self-development exercise. It's like the most potent self-development exercise I've ever done in my life, like by far. I don't know, it's almost like self-improvement, I think. I don't know if you felt that way.
yeah, definitely. Definitely, I think it can be pretty hard sometimes because
Oh
again,
yeah.
like that's only you. So if you stop posting, if you stop working, basically your business stop as well. Except if you find another way, let's say SEO or YouTube video that are ranking on a keyword. If you don't do that, then if you stop posting, your business stop. So it's a lot on your shoulder, I think.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, do you regret doing that?
Starting to post.
Yeah.
Oh, not at all for me. I'm still in the honeymoon phase, but like for me, I talk about this in my videos where I was making a lot of money at corporate. I had the quote unquote dream life, but on the inside, I just felt pretty miserable. And these last 100 days, I work so much and like there's no balance at all. But I also think that balance is kind of like not a real thing anymore. But it's just that it's been the most fulfilling time of my life compared to corporate, where people really get impacted by things that you can create, and it's like it's a surreal experience, and I get exposed to people who uh, I used to watch, and now I sometimes talk to them, which is just like, wow, this it's insane. I never thought that I would be here. I'm on the other side of things now, and it's just like I don't know. Life has taken a big turn for me, and I have definitely zero regret there.
Well, you should not, I think, because it's a really cool thing. I think a lot of people are talking about the bad side of having an audience, but same as you, I didn't see it. I feel like it's such a hack, such a cheat code to do that, actually.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, for real.
And do you have any plan for like let's say the next few years? Like, do you have like a big goal that you want to achieve?
Mm. I originally when I started everything, I said I wanted to get like a net worth of 50 million. And I don't know why. I think it was just like that represented something to me where it's just like, that's true, like, like FU money. But I realize now that I don't really care that much because I was always thinking in this retirement mindset before in the past where it's like, I need to hit this big goal and then I'm just going to rest. But now it feels like I I just want to keep doing I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I want to find stuff that is purposeful so that every day I want to wake up tomorrow and continue to work on things I find interesting. So I feel like in terms of big goal, I guess the 200K a month I would try for, but to be honest, I don't even feel a big pull towards that. Uh, yeah, it's interesting. I don't really have a big goal, I would say. I think I just enjoying the process right now.
Well, that's beautiful. I think that's the best
Yeah.
thing to do. And do you have a last thing to say to someone who is watching and maybe want to start, maybe want to follow your path, but is hesitating?
Yeah, for sure. I think I, in my past, had so many limiting beliefs, and I thought that I was not meant to be a creative person. I thought that there was no path available to me outside of the default path. I ended up like becoming depressed on my corporate journey, and so I think that was the biggest thing where I thought there was no way out, and I thought that I wasn't capable enough to do these things. And I thought it would be cringe to post online. Everybody who posts online thinks that they're going to be so cringe. They're going to film on the camera. Even writing content is difficult too. So you really put yourself out there. But what I will tell you is that your fear is what the saying that I heard that I love is that fear is an inch deep and a mile wide. And it's so true because once you actually start doing it, you start to realize it's like, oh wait, this actually wasn't that big of a deal, and it's still kind of embarrassing, but it's only embarrassing until it starts working. It's like once it starts working, then people are coming to you and saying like, wow, this is inspiring and stuff. And so, if I would say one thing to someone in my position, I think just give it a try because I know you don't have that belief in yourself right now, but I was in that position too. Like I didn't have that belief in myself. I didn't think that I could make this a real thing. But it's happening now and I'm much happier for it. And it all started with just hitting that first post and just going from there.
Well, a beautiful way to end this one. Thank you really much, Jim, for your time. And
Yeah, thank you,
I
Florian.
hope you will reach this 200K a month, and I will still continue following you on your journey.
Likewise, man.